Welcome back to DC's Real Talk. Finally back from an extended break. Um, Pretty excited to get back. I've been wanting to get back doing this since the start of the year, um, but just kind of dragged my feet and had multiple people ask me when it was coming back. Starting to have more and more people asking me to come back, and finally just decided, why not? Let's make it happen. And so, for those of you that used to listen, I appreciate it so much. For those of you that reached out to me and asked me when I was coming back, I appreciate that as well. And it's going to be a little different this time around. I ended up stopping it last time. Had a couple different reasons, but anybody that's close to me knows I'm dealing with a neck injury that just wouldn't get right. I had multiple procedures on it. Just had another one this week actually, and so hopefully that's going to be better. And that kind of knocked me out of my element a little bit because this is a lot more time consuming than I thought, and just trying to sit up for that long was really painful. And so kind of got away from it from that aspect. And then also interviewing people, and that was super fun. And it was fun finding people to do it. It was super fun having people on and then having them tell me, oh man, I got another new client from you, or I had another person tell me about you guys, or somebody that listened to your podcast came into my store. And that was a lot of fun, and I really did appreciate that, and hopefully brought some value to people. And obviously the interview process itself was super fun. I loved getting down and sitting down with people and just talking to them. Loved hearing about what makes them tick, and why they do what they do, and what they do to be successful. And so that was a lot of fun. But basically, the I had a lot of people commit to doing it, and then would either back out, or I would have somebody that I would try and hound them and hound them and hound them to get on, and then they wouldn't. And then I would be in the same atmosphere as them, or the same setting, and all these different people would be asking them, why are you not coming on? And that just, it really kind of beat me up, because if you'll remember, the reason I started this to begin with was I just wanted to help people, and I wanted to give people a platform to talk and to try and potentially better themselves or their lives. So whether that was just having somebody to chit chat with during, when we went through the pandy, or if it was a chance to help somebody better their business, like just whatever it was, I wanted to try and help people. So when I found out, and it kind of hit me that I was caring more about helping people than they were trying to help themselves, and I just didn't want to be a part of that anymore. And so, with that being said, going forward with this, I've decided to take a different format to it. So, what I'm going to do differently is I definitely will still interview people, because I loved that. That part was so much fun. And like I said, it did help people. And, if I can help people and help my friends, I'm going to do that every time. But the main difference is I'm going to have quite a few that are just me talking. And here's why: is a majority of the comments that I would get on social media was people telling me either that they really like this part, where can they learn more about it? Or, someone would say, man, how did you know so much about this? And then I would have a conversation with them about that, but it was not on the podcast. It was just through social media or through, in-person talks. And so what I'm going to do differently is, this year, one of the things I've committed to is I'm reading a book every single week. And I start on Monday. And then until I'm done with that book, I can't watch podcasts. I can't watch shows. I can't do anything until that book is done. And so what I'm going to do is I'll start off each week with two things. One, I'll answer any of the questions that people had wrote me in the comments, or direct messages, or if somebody wants to talk about something I talked about on the previous one, I'll give more insight into where I learned about that, what sources I got them from, anything like that. And then the next thing I'll do is I will break down what I learned in that book, that week. And then also, once I'm done with that book, then I listen to my podcasts, and I follow so many podcasts in pretty much every topic I possibly can, just because I like to know stuff in every field. And so throughout the week, one, I'll be taking my notes from the book that I read. And then also, I'll take notes throughout the week on different interviews, different podcasts that I listened to / watched that week, and then go over the stuff that I liked the most about it, that I think could bring you guys the most value. And then, like I said, if I don't do that, then I will interview people. I'll actively try and find people if I hear about somebody that does something that I find interesting. But I think it'll primarily be people reaching out to me or through suggestion when people suggest somebody to me. I'm not going to just chase people like I used to. As much fun as that is, I just don't have the time and I don't want to do it anymore. But so that being said, if you do have questions, or you do want me to talk more about something that I learned that week, please let me know, because I would absolutely love to go further into it. And I'll be more than happy to tell you, hey, what podcast I listened to it in, or what book I did. Um, and then also, if you have somebody that you think would be cool to be interviewed, I would love to do that. And I definitely will. Or just tell me how I can get in contact with them. Or, just like how I used to do it. If you want to be on, let me know, and I would love to have you on. So with that being said, the episode's still going to come out on Fridays, and that way I can sum up the week, tell you what all went on, and then I think that's about it, guys. This one's short and sweet, just to mainly say thank you again for listening and giving me a platform to kind of talk and kind of express myself to some extent. And then let's make this year great. The other thing is I'll tell you guys on Friday what book I plan on doing that next week. So that way, if you guys wanted to follow along, like during that week, before my next episode comes out, you can. And so, for example, this week's book, because I wanted to do it, I read 2 books this week, actually. And so the first one was Kobe, because obviously everybody knows I'm a Kobe guy. If you're watching this, you can see my huge Kobe poster behind me. But the first one I did was Kobe, Lessons from Legends. And that book was really great. I wrote a ton of notes on that one. So that one will come out next week. But then also I did Annie Duke's Thinking in Bets. That was another one that was really good. So next week's podcast, I'll break down those 2. I haven't decided yet just which my next book should be. But that being said, also, is if there is a book that you think I should like, please put that in the comments. Because like I said, I'm willing to read a book on anything or watch a podcast on anything, because I do want to try and expand what all I know. So again, thank you guys. I hope that this year is going off really well for you. I hope this podcast really takes off this year. Just one last thing, and then I'll shut up. But one of the things that was really cool was I still get the analytics reports. And like I mentioned, I've had quite a few people as of recently tell me that they wanted me to bring it back. And the analytics of the podcast itself, when I was looking at them, for whatever reason, the last month, each week I've gotten more and more listeners. And the last 2 weeks have actually been 2 of my 4 highest weeks, even when I was doing this every week. So for whatever reason, somebody mentioned it, or somehow it got brought back up. And so hopefully by the end of the year, we can really have some traction in this, get this thing really going. And thank you guys. But let's get it going.